Hey, what's going on? So today is July 25th. What we're going to be doing is a market close analysis. It was a fantastic day today. We took 3 trades and we won all 3 trades. There was also a 4th trade that we didn't take, but somebody in the Discord did call it out. It was a perfect trade setup on gold, and they ended up taking that absolutely amazing setup. So on gold yesterday, we were looking for sells because we're making lower lows and lower highs on the higher time frame. So I said, hey, if we hit our area of interest, we're going to be looking for sells, which it did. And this is the one that I wasn't able to get into because I was at the gym at the time, so I didn't take this trade. This happened like around 11 to 12 ish, or 11:40 to 12. This morning I was looking for a setup around this area here. I was waiting for price to come in here, show me a supply setup, break the structure, and then go to the downside. But that didn't happen this morning. It did end up happening later in the afternoon. As you can see, we're starting to get a rejection off of this area here, and we break structure right here. So we created a nice break of structure here. We left the fair value gap up there. Nice red candles that are being created. We have a second fair value gap that was created here that you could have taken, but you always want to pick the highest fair value gap in that setup. So you could have picked it right here, and as soon as you got tapped in, as you know, you do get tapped in here, you could have gone for a sell, stops above, take profit at least a 1 to 3, and check out this setup. And it keeps melting. Someone from the Discord did call it out, and they ended up taking that sell, which is really good sell. So for NAS 100, this is the ones that I took. Same thing yesterday. I was saying we're going for sells because we're keep dropping on the 1 hour time frame. We're making lower lows, lower highs. So at the market open, we were waiting. We were in the Discord. We caught this live in the Discord. This is what I saw price doing. So price went up to my area of interest here. All I needed was a break of structure to the downside. Let me hide this so it doesn't look so crazy. So I was just looking for a break of structure here to give me an indication that price no longer wants to go up. It's going to go down. We're at our area of interest. We're hovering around the area of interest. As you can see, we got this huge sell-off here that broke the structure. And on top of that too, it's going to create a fair value gap. Right, so it creates 2 fair value gaps. It creates one here and here. In a situation like this, I knew that this up here was going to be way too high and our stops are going to be way too low. So in this instance, when I get put in a situation like this, you got to just make calls on the fly. So what I'll do is I'll look at the 50% line, and I usually enter like right below the 50% line, and then I put my stops above the swing high, and I go for a 1 to 3. This is what it looked like, and as you can see, we get tapped in. We put our stop loss above, take profit at 1 to 3, and the rest is history. That was a perfect trade setup that we caught live on the Discord, as well as we caught at the same time, we caught a SPX sell at the same exact time we caught this one as well, which was a perfect A+ setup. Later on throughout the day, I took another NAS 100 setup because I did see it play out. So we got a huge retracement back to the upside. I'm still looking for sells. No matter what, I was still looking for sells. That's what my bias was for the day. I knew as soon as we tapped into one of my area of interest, we got a supply setup, I'm going to be taking sells. So as you can see here, we get this nice. So what happens is we break out of our area of interest. We break back in with this huge sell-off. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, cool. If we get another push to the downside, then I'll be interested in looking for the trade. Up here, if I take the trade up here, yes, it could work, but it can easily be a fake out. It can push back down to push back up to keep making higher highs and higher lows. So in order for me to play it safe, what I did was I waited to see if we got another sell off with the fair value gap, which we did. And then as soon as I saw that, I took it right there, right before that fair value gap pushed down. So I entered, stops above 1 to 3. And as you can see, it was a perfect setup, and you could have gotten a re-entry at this level here and rode the whole entire thing with literally no drawdown. This was a beautiful A+ setup that I took on NAS today. So for SPX, It was basically the same trade as NAS 100. So when the market opened, this is what it looked like. We're waiting for our hour of interest, area of interest to be tapped, and then we're waiting for a break of structure right here to the downside. So as you can see, we got our break of structure, but we didn't create a fair value gap. Let me turn that on. We went back to retest into our hourly area of interest, and then here it comes right here. So there's the fair value gap. I entered right at the beginning of this fair value gap, and the reason why is because to be honest, after so much looking at this in the market, you'll know when to take the tops, the bottoms, the middles. So at this point in time, I entered at the very top of the fair value gap. I went for a sell, stops above, and then 1 to 3 risk reward. Like always, we got tapped in. So once we got tapped in, stop loss, take profit, and then the rest is history. And this thing freaking melted, and it was a great trade. It was a great trading today. If you didn't get a W today, it's all good. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be showing you what I'm looking at. I know I'm talking all over the place right now. I don't like to do edits to my videos, so just bear with me. But let's get out of this replay. So it was perfect setups today. So this is what I'm gonna be looking at for tomorrow. Let me hide my fair value gap so it doesn't look so crazy. Okay, so I'm definitely still bearish, but these are what my zones are gonna look like for tomorrow. I'm hoping we get better market structure tomorrow. When I wake up, it looks a lot cleaner, but this is what I'm going to be looking at for sells. So if we get a retest, I'm going to take a sell off of that level. Get a retest up here, I'm going to take a sell off of that level. Or if we break below, come up here, retest, I'm going to take another sell. That's what I'm going to be looking at for NAS. I might even take another sell at this minor level here. We do have a minor level here. And do we have any fair value gaps in here? We do. We have one here, but I'm more interested in this level up here as a minor one. So for gold, I'm not going to touch my zones. My zones are absolutely perfect where they are right now. I'm going to delete all this other nonsense that was here. Change this color to white. Okay, I'm loving sells exactly right here where my areas of interest are, is what I like. So that's what I'm going to be looking at for tomorrow for sells. SPX 500, this is looking kind of crazy. Let me see if we can figure out a way to trap the price and figure out a market bias. I mean, NAS and SPX move pretty much the same. Anything up here? It's just way too crazy for me. Probably won't even trade SPX at all tomorrow. These are the only zones that I have. As far as a bias, I'm still bearish. So if it hits any one of these levels here, we're definitely selling. We're definitely selling. For US 30, I honestly am going to be looking for buys. And the reason why I'm looking for buys is because we technically broke structure to back to the upside. So we created these lower lows, lower highs. As you can see, we created a double bottom here, and then we completely shot up and broke this previous lower high, changing the character of the trend from bearish to bullish. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at buys. The only thing I don't like is I don't like the fact that it broke this level here. It broke this level, and then instead of creating some kind of support, we completely just shot back down. So I'm just going to have to play it by ear when I wake up and look at the market and see what kind of structure it's built. But as of now, I would say I'm looking for buys. I'm looking for buys. Yep. We'll probably see something like this by the tomorrow. Something like that, maybe. We'll just have to see. For oil, it's looking kind of crazy, to be honest. This natural gas is looking pretty nice. I was going to take a sell off of this natural gas. I've never traded natural gas before. This trade setup here looked fine. Good thing I didn't take it because this was around the same time that NAS 100 setup. But it would have been a great trade. Like, to be honest, it would have been a great trade. Like if you, as you can see, we had a break of structure here, which is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for price to come up, fill this gap, and go back down to the downside, which it does. So you would have got filled in there, and then you would have got the 1 to 3. It would have been a nice trade. It's just, but look, it was, if you would have held that trade, you would have gotten stopped out. But it was still a good trade. Well, that's what I'm gonna be looking for tomorrow morning. So be on the lookout, man. I'm telling you, join the Discord. We've been green the past 2 weeks. Join the Discord. It's absolutely free. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave your comment and thoughts down below, and I'll see you tomorrow at our final market update